People are gonna start saying this is one of their biggest mistakes and biggest regrets, so let me go over it with you so it's not yours. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. How you doing today? Big shout out to my dude the Benzo for letting me showcase his account for this video. I did a coaching session for him and I noticed some things were not quite in line for this hardcore Raid Shadow Legends player. When you see his roster here, you are going to be shocked at how much progress he has made in the game. It is crazy, absolutely crazy. His account is so stacked. I literally, my jaw dropped when I logged in like 5 minutes ago. So anyway, what are we talking about today? We're talking about gear ascensions. It is one of the most powerful things you can do on your account is come over here to Sand Devil and get the oil and or winning it from tournaments and events. They have actually been pretty good about including these as decent rewards for tournaments and events, and that's one of the main ways that free-to-play and low-spend players can get these at good rates. In addition to unlocking these upper levels here, stage 25, 24, etc. Ideally, you want to be farming stage 25. Now, with that being said, please check out some of my other videos for great Sand Devil strategies. But for now, we're talking about what do you do with them once you have these oils. Now let's go. You better get some sunglasses here for this roster because, jeez, it is so stacked, I can't even handle myself. So, this is more Mythic Champions than I have. It's crazy. I actually have never seen anybody with this champion. I'm sure people have him, but I just have not seen it. Anyway, coming in here, we'll just hang out on Galathier, for this, because we're going to be talking about gear ascensions, what to do and what not to do. I was working a lot with this today during Clan versus Clan, and that's a great time to work with your gear and your ascending of the gear, because it gets really solid points, okay? Now, we'll talk about both artifacts and accessories, but we're going to focus on the artifacts. The accessories are much less important. So if we come in here, we are going to go ahead and hit Ascended Gear, and that is going to show us what he has ascended right now. We're going to take a look at some of these things and give you some guidance. No shade to my dude Benzo, all the props. He was like, yes, I need to know what to do and what not to do. I made some mistakes early on the account, and I feel like that's true for a lot of people. So if we come in here and we take a look, this is the perfect example of what I'm talking about, okay? We have attack percentage chest, and the ascension bonus should match that most of the time. Not all of the time. Like, there are times where you might want accuracy there if it's a damage dealing champion that needs to land debuffs as well. Like Monkey King, for example, might want an attack percentage chest with an accuracy ascension, but most of the time you want it to match whatever the stat is. Now, when you go and you roll this flat defense, there's no reason to max this out. That would be wasting the potential. Now that we have the Chaos Dust in the game, we can re-roll things like this. So it's not unfixable, but it is difficult because you only have so much oil. There's never enough oil, and with how potent it is, how powerful it is, you want to make sure that you're ascending only your best pieces. With that being said, you can ascend the first and or second star basically as much as you want, as long as you're farming this resource. You can see we have 2,300 of the lesser oils, and a lot of times if you're farming Sand Devil, you're going to have a lot more than that, depending on how much you farm. Okay, so bear in mind how, you want to manage your resources there according to the needs on your account. Now, these gloves are a great example of one that we did exactly right, okay? If we come over here, we have crit damage gloves in Relentless, which is great, that have a crit damage ascension. Now, depending on how many gloves, crit damage with crit damage you have, I might not have done this one. You know, our other substats on this piece of gloves, on this piece of gear, is not the best. We have a double roll in attack percentage, we have a double roll in flat attack, but there's no speed, there's no crit rate, which is the most important thing, but crit damage with crit damage is one of the most desirable things for you to ascend. The second or first most, depending on your perspective, most desirable thing is the boots. And this is why I was so excited to showcase his account, because here we have the exact thing that I'm talking about, okay? Either your main stat is speed, or if you're trying to use percentage boots, getting a speed ascension is so good. And this is one of the main ways that you are going to be able to add a lot of speed to your champions. So if we take a look at these Armand's boots, this is exactly what I'm talking about here. We have speed boots in a speed set with the speed ascension. All of that matches and becomes very powerful. And then you can include this on champions that you need to have that speed on. And these are particularly good with Armand's, having that accuracy in there and some survivability as well. There's never enough speed boots with the speed ascension. I max these out almost every time that I find them, and a lot of the time I'm using the chaos dust to try to get speed on here. I'm trying to get crit damage on those gloves, and that chest that I showed at the beginning, I would be trying to reroll that to get attack percentage. Now, another viable option would be speed boots with whatever damaging stat you have. Like, if I take these boots off of my Tatora and put them on a damage dealer, it's going to have a lot of attack percentage on both of these. Actually, this would be an amazing offset piece for a bomb champion, as an example, because they don't need crit rate or crit damage. The only thing they really need is the attack and the accuracy. Okay, so this would be a great offset for that type of champion. Now, another thing you want to be aware of is ascending the top row is going to be much less effective. Okay, if we take a look at a shield like this, we do have defense on defense, but we're only getting 52 defense. You know, a very small glyph on the piece of gear is going to get you more results in your stat than that, okay? Now, there are champions where you want to max out and ascend all of their gear with some of your best champions on your account. Right? Like on my account today, I was rebuilding my, what is his name? Oh, crap. On my account, I was rebuilding my Siegfried, and this is a great example of a piece where I would be re-rolling this. You know, I would be looking for attack percentage on these boots. If I'm going to use them as an offset, then I'm going to want attack percentage on there, or speed would be the other option. Now, defense percent, it's not like that doesn't help, but it's not really benefiting me. You know what I mean? It's not really helping me to kill people more efficiently, etc. Right? And so on an important champion like Siegfried, I might go ahead and I might max out the shield, the weapon, the helmet on my most important champions. Now, if you have limited resources, I would probably never do that past 2 stars. You know, I like maxing out gear. It's awesome, but there's only so much oil, and the more stars you ascend, the higher level oils you're going to need. And you really want to save those for your glove, your chest, and your boots. So if we take a look here, this is a really nice pair of gloves. Okay, we have crit damage with the HP percent. We have HP percent and crit rate. So on an HP based champion who wants to deal damage, this could be a nice offset pair of gloves. Most of the time with crit damage, we're looking for crit damage. but the damaging stat is an acceptable second place, right? And depending on the build, maybe you got a lot of crit damage on your other gear and you're looking to fill in the HP percent. So there's not just one answer, but general guidance for all of these things. And remember, if you messed up any of these things on your account, the great thing is it's fixable. You can come in with your Chaos Dust that you farmed or won in tournaments and events, and then fix it, okay? It scales up pretty heavily the more dust that you'll need, so be aware of that. I like rolling or re-rolling just, a couple times, unless it's one of the best pieces of gear on my account. If you have an S tier piece of gear, then it's okay to keep using your dust to re-roll until you get the right ascension bonus. Make sure if you have questions on any of this, you put that in the comments below so I can answer them directly about your account. That way I can help you specifically. And if you appreciated this content, go ahead down there, click that like button, and that will really help this video reach other people. Now let's jump into the accessories because they are slightly different. If we come over here on the accessories, the vast majority of the time, you want to completely ignore your rings. Your rings, unless you're, again, pimping out one of your best champions on your account, you can just leave the ring alone and or go to 1 to 2 stars on the ascension, and that will give you a small bonus. Where you want to focus is on your high-end amulets. Your amulets, what you are going to be looking for here is going to be crit damage as your primary ascension on your crit damage amulets. Your crit damage amulets are going to be the ones that you want to get the most mileage out of. And this is another way to increase the damage in your builds is by ascending it and getting crit damage on it. The next thing that you are likely to want to do is on your banners that are accuracy or resistance, you want to look for one of those ascensions. A lot of champions, you're going to try to build with accuracy and resistance, so having accuracy and resistance together is fine sometimes. But most of the time, you're going to want that matching stat. So your accuracy banners, you're going to want accuracy on that ascension bonus. And if that doesn't go the way you want, then you can chaos, use the chaos powder for these. But you're going to need way less of these extracts than you would the oils, right? You're going to be ascending a lot more gear than you are going to be ascending accessories. Once you get a couple of crit damage amulets per faction, once you get a couple of accuracy banners per faction, that's, all you really need unless you want to expand your available resources. Most of the time, you're going to focus on your gear and the oils from Sand Devil. So what do you think about this information? Is this stuff that you knew already? I know a lot of people need to go and analyze the gear and accessories on their account in order to be able to get this on track. While we're here, let me find a build that we can show what our absolute goals would be for this type of items, resources. Or what's our goals once we have the ideal setup? Okay, this might make the video a little bit longer, but I want to walk you through this process of what my thoughts are while I'm gearing here. I took those crit damage gauntlets that I had before to put on here as an offset piece. I found a savage chest that's attack percentage. It doesn't have an ascension bonus, so I'm going to test that and see what happens. I got flat defense. I'm still going to use this chest, but then later, when I get some chaos dust, I can come in here and I can change that or try to in order to get the attack that I'm looking for. Now, with this champion, Mezamel Luperfang, I think that we could go attack percentage boots if we have some available, which we do. That's very nice. We'll just roll that right up. We'll miss the flat attack, just like the streamer luck said we would, and then we'll go ahead and ascend the boots, obviously hitting that attack percentage. I love this. I love it so much. I do takeovers, guys. If you want me on your account, let me know, and we will hook it up, okay? Now I'm going to come back over here into my crit damage, into my Savage set, and I'm going to see what things are available here. We have a really nice shield and a really nice weapon. I think that will work fairly nicely. This is all the gear we have on the account, and then I can fill in my best, whatever my best helmet is, as my other offset piece. I would imagine we don't want to steal from anyone. And then hopefully she will have some masteries to fill in here that I would imagine. And I can come over here and double check that she has a crit damage amulet. Let's see. It does appear that she has a crit damage amulet. That's wonderful. Do I have one that I would rather put on her? We would probably rather put a 6-star one on her. So let's go ahead and do that. And we hit accuracy, which is nice. And then on the banner, probably want attack. But we could leave it as accuracy. Either way, that's going to give us some good options here. We have attack percentage and speed on there. And then we could find some more accuracy. I don't think that her strengths are going to be accuracy here. We just want her to do good damage. So if I come in here and I look and see what rings are available, I like the reaction ring, but I think that this Slayer ring will do a little bit more for us. This is not an attack-based ring, so this is one that we could put on here, and then maybe look for an attack-based ring later on. Also, once we get the attack ascensions on here, that is going to help with both of these things. And I only need a little bit more of the middle oils here to fully ascend these boots. Then I can go glyph it, and all of those things add together for a great build. I'm going to go ahead and hit equip here. He didn't have her completely geared anyway, so I'm guessing that, you know, we needed to, well, I'm guessing this will be a helpful build. And then on here, I would probably say that Soul Reap is going to be her best blessing. I'm not sure if that does trigger the block revive or not. That's something I would need to look into. But that's going to be my thought process when I'm looking for the ascended gear. You'll notice I didn't look or choose to ascend any of this gear. I'm mainly focusing on this middle row, the glove, chest, and boots. And that's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. When you're gearing a support champion, typically that's where I'm looking for those speed with speed boots. And I thought that we had one. Okay. We could take any of these, right? Maybe this one, whatever the case might be. He does have a couple of options, but he also has a lot of boots that we could test. You know, these Geo boots would be a good example. That was perfect. We could ascend this and test, okay? I don't want to do that because if I hit speed, it might mess up something in one of his teams with Geo, which is a speed tune a lot of the time. But when you're building a support champion, most of the time you want to start by looking for those speed ascensions on the speed boots, and then sometimes the accuracy with accuracy, ascension on the chest, etc. A lot of the other things that we talked about. Alright, so I think that that's all of the information that we need today. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much once again for Benzo letting me on his account. I think this is going to really help a lot of people.